Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to another episode of Peaceful Video Game Locations. Today, I've chosen Kronos Island for today from Sonic Frontiers. And there's a reason I picked this. It's because yesterday I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the first two live-action Sonic movies. And it's going to be interesting going around this map. Because, I mean, it was interesting going around Days Gone. Because, you know, there were zombies and marauders. Well, more so there was a wolf, wasn't there? I don't think we ran into any marauders, but here there's going to be robots. But I did defeat a few of them before I started recording just to make sure that we don't run into like the really big ones. So I'm not going to be going terribly fast around. I'm going to be trying to take my time, properly explore the area, try and avoid fights where I can. But yes, so I guess very light spoiler warning. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much of what happens in Sonic 3, just in case anyone here hasn't watched it or played Sonic Adventure 2. Because, as a lot of people pointed out, it's basically Sonic Adventure 2, the movie. There are some notable changes, though. But I won't... Oh, Sonic's stuck on the wall. I won't go too into what those differences are. It's weird not using the boost here, honestly. But yeah, I thought it was really good. It had some, some pacing issues, I think, that weren't present in the first two movies, but I don't think the first two movies were trying to do as much as this third movie was. So there was more stuff to pay attention to, I think, in the third movie compared to the first two. But the trade-off of that being they, you know, time constraints, it felt a little bit rushed, but not to the point where it was like ruining the movie. Just to a point of like, oh, they could have possibly done this better. You know, oh no. No. We're here to have a peaceful time. Go away. Oh, treasure. But yeah, I thought we'd launch up Sonic Frontiers while we talk about the movies. Felt it was rather fitting. I'm feeling hopeful for the future of Sonic, because what I've come to learn, people have been calling the dark ages of Sonic. Sorry, side note, I like it that the seagulls start flying with Sonic as you're running through. But I like the direction that Frontiers has started to take in terms of the tone. I have not... Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Whoops. I have not... Jeez, okay, this surface isn't the best to run on. Alright, well, we'll get off of that. But I do like the more serious tone. I know that's not... well, see, the thing is with Sonic is that everything surrounding Sonic both is and isn't a hot take, I think. Everything is and isn't like an uncommon opinion. Like, you could pretty much say any opinion about Sonic and it's not that uncommon. It's like so mixed, you know? Why are you giving me... Okay, I'm not going to do that minigame, but I am going to get this treasure. Oh. Wait, I don't know if I've done this little course. But I do prefer the, in terms of tone, the more... People call it edgy, and I agree. It is edgy, but to me that's Sonic. You know, it's a little bit edgy. You know, I like the more... I kind of hesitate to call it a mature tone. I must have done this at some point, yeah. Because, yeah, my little dudes. My little dudes. Oh, that thing's still flying around. I think they respawn, because I'm pretty sure I fought that thing before. I'm not actually that far into this game, to my knowledge. Let's check. Yeah, I only have 2 of the maps unlocked, so... But, what was I saying? I got too sidetracked. My apologies. Oh, right. Opinions about Sonic. Yeah, I like the more... I suppose gritty would be the best way to put it. The more... Where it's trying to be, like, more mature, but it's more so just... being good, you know. Sort of like what happened with the Shadow the Hedgehog game. You know? Not Shadow... X Sonic Generations, the original, the 2000, was it 2005 that came out? I think it was 2005. But I like when it tries to be more mature, I suppose, is the better way of putting it. And I haven't seen the full story of Sonic Frontiers yet, but in my opinion, I think they're doing a pretty good job. I like the interactions between Sonic and Amy during this portion of the game. It feels more real, I suppose. Amy doesn't feel like a one-note character anymore. She feels,
I've been making good progress. I wonder how Amy's doing.
Speaking of Amy... I don't know why you said that. We haven't collected any more, what do you call it? The hearts. Actually, you know what? Hold on. You guys come with me. We're gonna find a spot to take the thumbnail image for. Oh, I think we'll do it at the tower. Yeah, alright. Hold on, let's hurry over there before the sun sets. I suppose it doesn't matter if the sun sets. Either way. No, I don't want to fight you. Go away. Okay, yeah, you do respawn. Because I definitely fought, whatever that thing's called, before recording. But, whoops, that wasn't very smart. But yeah, the interactions between Sonic and Amy during this portion I thought were really well done. And, ooh, yeah. You know what, let's wait until like sunrise. I think that'll look cool. Wow, that's cool. Anyway. Let me get Sonic to a good vantage point. Yeah, that's good. Wait, are you the one? Are you one I've already collected, or are you chilling up here? No, you're one of. Yeah, you're the guys. Ooh, you're the guys I already collected. Anyway, but yeah, tonally, I like the more sort of mature Sonic as well. It feels like he's grown, if that makes sense. He's less headstrong, I suppose. Because you see him interacting. I forget the kid's name, the one that's working for Eggman in this one. I forget his name, but his or her name, I'm not sure anymore. But there's a scene with, I think, Knuckles and the kid. And Sonic's like, whoa, 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 just like tell me what's going on. And I'm like, okay. You know, this feels like a Sonic that's been through all the previous games. It's like, okay, he's not... I mean, canonically, I'm pretty sure he's still a teenager. But, because what is Sonic meant to be? 15? 15, I think. 14 or 15. I remember it was on the back of the box, or in the manual of Sonic Heroes, had all the characters, at least that were in Sonic Heroes. It had all their ages. Shadow was like unknown or 50 plus or something, and Eggman was unknown, I think. But yeah, I like the more mature tone they went for in this game. I think it fits the the Sonic vibe. Like going back and playing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I think especially 2, people point to 2 as like this was peak Sonic, you know, this was when Sonic was mature. It wasn't trying to be a kid's game, but it's like you play through the story of Adventure 2, it's a bit of a mess. You know, it's at least for me, I find Sonic Adventure 2 story kind of hard to follow now. It made sense to me when I was a kid. It's like, but I feel like that's how it's meant to be sort of consumed. It's like you're not meant to think about it too much. You kind of get the gist by half paying attention to it. So it's like, okay, yeah, Sonic's gonna stop Eggman, you know. Shadow's out for revenge for Maria. Amy is... What was Amy doing, actually? She was looking for Sonic. She frees him from prison once, and... Did she do anything after that? I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything Amy did after freeing Sonic from prison. She wasn't even playable, was she? No, she wasn't. Huh. Well, she was playable in the versus mode, I think, but not the single player at any point. Yeah, no, I don't think she was in the single player at all. But yeah, I find the story of Sonic Adventure 2 kind of hard to follow. Like, of course I get it, right? But actually sitting down, playing it, and paying attention, like, to the cutscenes, it's like, well, why is Eggman blowing up this island? Or Gun, whoever it was, blowing up the island that Sonic and Shadow were on? Why does Eggman have this military base in Egypt? And how did Sonic and all his friends find it there? I'm sure there was some hand-wavy reason they figured it out, but yeah, I don't remember what that was. Adventure 1 is a little easier for me to follow nowadays. Probably because each story is like pretty self-contained, whereas Adventure 2 kind of crosses over each other, which I don't think is a bad idea. I think if there was a remake to come out of Sonic Adventure 2 and they kind of restructured the story, I think it could work. But yeah, I do like the more the less cheery tone, I suppose I'll put it, that Frontiers has kind of taken so far. Again, I haven't finished the game. I also don't know how this game plays out. You know, I haven't watched any videos on it or anything, which is a shame. Because you know when you know you got a YouTuber you like, right? But they make a video on like a game you want to finish, and it's like, oh, man, I can't play that game now. I did that with that was partially why I did the Resident Evil marathon, actually. 2 years ago now? No, 1 year ago. No, only 1 year ago. 1 year ago that I did the, well, 1 year and like a month, 2 months now. But that's the reason well, part of the reason, because I mean, I did want to do it, so it wasn't me doing it for this other reason. But Some Call Me Johnny, one of my favorite YouTubers, he had a bunch of Resident Evil games in his review catalog, and I was like, man, I want to watch all those, but I also want to play all of the Resident Evil games. And so I was like, okay, I can watch, I think, what did I watch? Resident Evil 4, the original, Resident Evil 7, and Resident Evil 8, because those were the ones I played, but I was like, man, I want to watch the rest, but I want to play the rest. So I was like, all right, let's get it all done in like a month. And then I have all these new videos to watch. So I need to get to finishing Sonic Frontiers, because I believe Some Come Johnny has done both a versus and a round 2 video on this game by now. I think so, anyway. But yeah, and that video is probably like 2 years old now, so I'm behind. I'm behind on a lot of things. I don't know. I like consuming things at my own pace. I don't like. There's certain things I'll buy, like at launch. Like I bought Animal Crossing New Horizons at launch, which was a bit annoying because I bought it from EB Games and I selected the option for delivery on the day of release. I paid extra for that, and it arrived a week after launch, and that upset me because I was like, hold on, I'm gonna see what this alert thing is. Oh, it's probably telling me I can auto combo. I don't think I want that. Battle skills that have been unlocked will automatically activate during combos. However, damage don't be reduced. I don't think I want that. I don't want that either. Well, I can't afford that. I do want that, but I can't afford it. Anyway. Actually, fun thing about this save. It is a year old. So I did save after I defeated some enemies. That's in slot 1. Slot 2 is where I saved a year ago when I was playing through this. That's something I want to get in the habit of, because I have a habit of, like, I'll start a game and, you know, have a save file, and then, like, I'll drop it. And I come back to it and I'm like, no, I don't really remember what happened, so I'm going to start a new save and go through the game again. But sometimes it's just an impulse. I do it with every game that I haven't touched in a long time. So it just autosave there for some reason. But even games that I'm like, okay, no, I remember what happened. So like with this game, right? You know, I remember going around this area, talking to Amy a bunch. She was trying to... There was some subplot with these guys. Sorry for the cut there. I forgot to set Steam to offline so that we don't get friend notifications. Anyway. Yeah, so even with games that what was I saying before I cut? You know, going around this whole area with Amy and having the subplot with these little guys. They were like, there was 2 lovers, I think? Or like a mom and her kids? Something like that. I remember fighting the boss. I remember going to the desert island, losing the emeralds again, doing all that. Like, I basically remember what happened last time. But I still feel this impulse because it's just been a while to like, oh no, I need to start this game over again. But I want to get into the habit of not doing that. It's like, okay, if I remember the story, then I'll just continue on. You know, if it's going to be a multi-year save file, then, you know, so be it. You know? Yeah, I feel like sometimes we get wrapped up in playing games the right way. You know, there's the right way and the wrong way to play a video game, and I mean that's honestly sort of what I want to try and do with this series. It's like I'm kind of playing I'm playing the game a little wrong here, you know? I'm not going around fast. I'm not you know, going through all the courses or trying to get high scores on all the levels or scattered around the map. And like with the last episode of Days Gone, you know, I'm not I'm not going out and doing the story or fighting zombie. I mean, we had to fight a zombie or two and a wolf, but that wasn't our choice. We're not doing how the game was designed to be played, but I think that's all right. Because I feel like especially. Ooh, okay, well. Okay, it's all right. We'll find a way back up. I think we just need to. Because I think especially with these open world games, right, is probably, open world nowadays is kind of associated with lazy. Because AAA games, sort of like what we were talking about last episode with AAA games, they always have these open worlds where there's all this busy work to do. But, I'm sure that a lot of the designers, the individuals behind the scenes probably do put a decent amount of effort into making these worlds and, designing them. So I feel like going around them leisurely lets me sort of appreciate that effort. Geez, nighttime's been around for a long time. I thought the sun would have rose by now. It's alright. Maybe, maybe because it's been at night, maybe we should take this photo at night. Alright, so... yeah, that's what I want. I'm just worried that the thumbnail won't stand out quite as much without the sun beaming down on everything. Let's see, what filters are there? Ooh, that one kind of brings out the colors a bit more. No, I think I'll still wait for day. I think this will be a really cool shot during the day. Yeah, we'll wait until day. Actually, until then, why don't we just wander around? Yeah, I think we should just wander around. Nice land. Oh no, don't want to go near you. No. But I suppose actually to go back to the Sonic 3 movie, there were what is happening? Oh. It's this thing. Well, given the choice, I wouldn't do this, but all right. Well, I don't know if there's a way to skip this. Well, I'll play it anyway. Why not? There were a lot of visual references that I noticed. So there's a few shots introducing Shadow in the Sonic 3 movie that I think they were like shot for shot, like either from the intro of Shadow the Hedgehog or from Sonic Adventure 2. And no, I'll come back to you later. Oh boy, I thought I just veered off a cliff. I mean, I did, but I thought it was gonna be ocean. But yeah, there were a lot of visual references that made me like, I was sitting in the theater like, ooh, I know what that means. I know what that is. Like, when again, light spoilers for the third movie. When Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, fight him for the first time and get their ass kicked. There's when Sonic falls. Jesus Christ. When Sonic falls in front of him, that looked almost exactly like the last scene in the intro for Shadow the Hedgehog, which I thought was pretty cool. Actually... Oh, nice. I think to keep with the theme of sort of AAA stuff and what we talked about in the last episode, I think an interesting talking point is, like, remakes. Because I feel like people are pretty divided on remakes. Like, you know, are they something that should be done? I'm personally pretty okay with most remakes, even if they're, like, not great. It just depends, right? I think... Because I feel like... how do I put this? It's like... People will say stuff like, you know, you can't recycle the... Did I already... Oh, I did. Wait, no, I haven't talked to you yet. This location. Jeez, there's a lot of story I need to catch up on. Oh, okay, it's ending. Nice. Okay, let's get back to the tower. I might miss the sunrise, but that's alright. Was there fast travel points on this? I don't think there was. Yeah, with remakes, people will be like, no, you can't just keep, you know, recycling the same stuff. And, like, I agree, right? You know, it's... You can't just keep going back to the same stuff you've been doing for, you know, however long. No, I was trying to avoid this. Go away. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like people are acting like it's taking away new stuff. Like, you know, new things to watch or play, which I just don't think is the case. I think if you go on Steam and you go on GOG or you know, I was gonna say video rental store, but I mean they still sell DVDs at like some supermarkets. At least here in Australia they do. So I suppose you could get them from there. But you go to, you know, or even just the theater, you know? I think especially Steam, being such a big marketplace, you're gonna find new games like that aren't based off something else all the time. Oh, of course it's gonna be foggy now. Is it always foggy? Foggy. I don't know if it's always foggy. I wish all camera modes in video games had like a weather. I know a lot of them do, but some of them don't, like here. Yeah. The conditions aren't right. No. Alright, we'll just wander around until the fog clears. We might not take it on the tower, I might take it somewhere else. But is it already clearing up? No? No. We might do some fishing at some point as well. with Big, because that's a pretty peaceful minigame. But yeah, if you just look, there's plenty of like new stuff. And it's like, yeah, the remake stuff is the popular stuff. That's kind of the point of a lot of them doing remakes, you know? It's piggybacking off the name of a property people already like know. So, you know, when people see, you know, Resident Evil remake, you know, they're like, oh, you know, I grew up playing Resident Evil 2. I can't wait to play it, you know, in a modern style and stuff like that. And okay, maybe Resident Evil is a bad example, because it does feel like all of the remakes have been pretty fucking good, like barring maybe 3. But even then, I thought 3 was pretty good. And I mean, to be honest, I didn't think Resident Evil 3, the original, was that good anyway. People talked about like the whole freedom of choice thing with Resident Evil 3, that like it was gone. Yeah, no, it's too foggy, I guess, still. That the freedom of choice was taken away, and it's like, no, like, yeah, there was the base, like, city part where you could do things in any order. That would have been pretty cool if they did it in the remake as well. Whereas in the remake, it was pretty linear. There was an order of which locations you went to. Whereas in the original, you could do them in any order. Just depended on what you found first, really. But, you know, then there was, like, the choices. Where it's like, do you push Nemesis off the bridge or do you run? You know, stuff like that. And it really did feel like there was a good choice and a bad choice. And the game didn't really feel like it changed that much. Didn't really matter what you picked. So I didn't find that to be a terribly dire loss between the original and the remake. But I'm getting off track. It's I was meant to talk about remakes in general, but I don't know. I don't think remakes are that terrible. I think we kind of think of it as a new thing, right? Like, this is the era of remakes. You know, Resident Evil is basically getting its whole catalog remade. You know, they remade Roadhouse. What else? Sorry, I just blew on the mic there. I hope that didn't go through. I did get my pop filter back in place, so that's nice. Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, they've been around for a while. You know, it's not a 2020s thing or even a late 2010s thing. I feel like it's just a as long as stories have been around thing. Like, we think of classic fairy tales, right? You know, those get remade so often. I mean, I saw a trailer while I was waiting for Sonic 3 to start. It was a Snow White? Yeah, Snow White. It was a Snow White live action. I suppose similar to what Disney did with Lion King. But, you know, Snow White's existed before Disney, and Disney just picked it up and made a remake of it. But, you know, I think a lot of the stuff that exists today is, if it has the staying power, as a lot of those fairy tales did, then they'll kind of claim that same status at some point in time. Like, can you imagine 200 years from now? You know, knock on wood, we don't annihilate ourselves by 200 years. Personally, I don't think we will. But, you know, this is for happy conversations, you know. Well, I might talk about the end of the world in one of these episodes, but I don't really want to talk about that right now. But 200 years from now, you know, what status, you know, with how popular Mario and Sonic and let's see, what's some other modern properties out now? You know, I just wonder what status they'll take later on, you know, in 200 years, if people even remember them. You know, if they do, you know, what's that gonna look like? All right, this is a nice shot here, I think. Let's try taking the thumbnail here. I took the thumbnail out of video for Days Gone. So, but oh no, there's debris in the way. It looks ugly. Let's see. So let's try and get a little higher as well. Actually, maybe getting that thing flying would be pretty cool. Okay. Can't really get... because I want to get the camera behind Sonic. Alright, alright. Maybe we'll climb this thing. This might be a good vantage point. But, you know, is there going to be a reinterpretation of Sonic, you know, 200 years from now, where it's like a retelling of the classic story of the Blue Blur? Like, that sounds ridiculous to us now, but, you know, I'm just trying to think, you know, when these original fairy tales were made, did the author and, you know, their friends ever think that, you know, 200 or however long they've existed from then, that they were going to be told and reinterpreted in all these different ways, and that these weird moving pictures, you know, were going to show the story and you know, be more immersive than ever, you know? I just wonder what'll happen. Oh no, the sun's setting already. No, I haven't got my shot yet. Okay, it's now or never. It's now or never, guys. Okay, yeah. I think this will work. Get the original tower in the back. Yeah, I think filter 5 for this looks good. This, like, cool, dramatic one. I'm assuming I just do the regular Steam thing. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Okay, we got our thumbnail. We got our thumbnail. Let's break these boxes. Oh, these look like they can be broken. Oh, guess not. All right. What do you guys say we do some fishing? I don't remember doing this. I don't think I ever found this before. I could fight that thing if I want, but I don't want to, so we're not gonna do it. Alright. Alright, big. Catch completion complete. Okay, this I don't remember I don't know what that means. Does that mean I can't fish here anymore? What do I want to fish. Do I have to go to the other map for that now? Oh wait, no, there we go. Guess I just wasn't close enough. Also, I have a cup of tea here that I haven't been drinking.
Hey, Sonic. Welcome back.
Hey, Big.
Would you like to try? I'll let you borrow a rod.
Okay. Actually, let me see what I've got. Red Seed of Power. Blue Seed of Defense. Only have one ticket. Egg Memo. I actually don't know what that is. 100 rings, 50 skill pieces. I don't know why you'd waste it on 100 rings. It's pretty easy to get 100 rings in this game.
Try?
Yeah. Alright. Fishing time. Oops. Kind of forgot how to play. It's alright. It's alright. I'll get it next time. I'll get it next time. There we go. Oh. Yeah, probably don't touch that, Sonic. Apparently, poison dart frogs, some are safe to touch. It depends on where they're from. I'm not sure if that's true, so obviously don't take this as a... Ooh, that was close. I nearly didn't catch that. Yay. But, ah, damn it. I'm trying to talk and fish at the same time. Jesus. Terrible. It's not even that hard. I'm trying to think of stuff to say. But yeah, remakes. Sorry. My attention was ripped away for quite a while there. I apologize. But yeah, remakes, just go on Steam or a streaming service or whatever and try something you never heard of. Don't even look at the reviews. Just get it and play it, or watch it. You know, you don't need to buy remakes. Nice. Do I think it's kind of sucky that, you know, a lot of these companies will just, you know, recycle the old stuff? Yeah. I think they should branch out and, you know, make new IPs and stuff, especially the bigger studios that can, you know, make something really cool, you know, that have the resources to make something like truly big, you know? But, you know, there's plenty of not remake things out there. You can go play them. Oh. I don't think I've gotten one of these before. Yeah, alright. You know, try a different genre or something. I feel like, all right, I'm gonna be a little bit critical here. I feel like there are a lot of people that will just complain about media and Jesus, it's a big ring. It will just complain about aspects in stuff, and you know, I'm not saying I'm innocent of this. I think I did plenty of that during the Resident Evil marathon, and I'm sure I did it this last marathon with the horror games. The Dark Ages of Resident Evil 0 almost over. I fucking hope so. But you know, if you don't like it, you cannot play it. You know, I get not liking that you spent money on something that you don't like. But, you know, video games and movies and TV shows, they're all leisure activities. You know, the money you spend on them shouldn't be something that you're choosing to buy a video game or your next meal with, you know? You shouldn't be put out by buying a video game. You know, that's again kind of going back to a previous talking point. That's why I like taking these sort of things at my own pace. Because like if I get the latest release, I'm gonna be out money that I need because games are so expensive now. But if I just wait for like a Steam sale, or you know, to end up in the bargain bin somewhere, then you know, you can play plenty of decent games for pretty cheap, I'd say. Well, not cheap, but reasonable price. You know, like the Valve collection. At least I think it's called the Valve collection. It was on sale quite often, and that's, oh geez. Whoa, nice. That's like a bunch of games for like real cheap. I think I bought it for like $10. That's like Australian dollars, so that's, I don't know, that's probably like $7.50, or no, it'd be closer to like $6. Like $6. That's like $6 American. You know, and I get it, you know, you want to play all the latest. You want to play the stuff your friends are playing, but you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth getting on the hype train and, you know, spending all this money that I mean, if you can afford it, then go for it, you know. But my point is, if you can't afford it, and then, you know, you get upset because you've spent this money that you could have saved for something else. It's like all the money you're spending on video games and stuff should be leisure money. Shouldn't be stuff that you're like, well, I'll be a little short on rent this month if I buy this video game, but you know, I can make it up. And then, you know, you buy the game, it's not as good as you think it'll be, and you end up getting upset because you're working overtime or something just to make a little more money so you can afford rent that month. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, I don't think that's excellent, Sonic. I suppose Sonic's cleaning up the environment. But yeah, if you've got the money to buy video games at launch and you don't mind spending that money, then yeah, go ahead. And of course, I'm not saying you can't have criticisms of video games. Because they are charging you money for them, you know? I feel like everyone should have a say. But, see, I'm more so talking about when people get really like the really mega fans of certain series. I'm not gonna name any. But when, you know, they change the color of some character's arm or something. And people get super upset about it. I just don't get it. You know? No, I don't want to be mean to anybody. I don't want to be like, you know, hey, get a life, go touch grass. But, you know, I feel like there's just some people that need to go get a life and go touch grass. I feel like your life shouldn't revolve around media. You know, I've seen people over the years that get too invested in certain properties or just social media, and like, you know, they're miserable people. And you know, I'll be honest, I was kind of like that at one point. I got really into Counter-Strike. I might have told this story on stream before, but I was really into Counter-Strike Go in like 2015, 2016, and 2017. Mainly 2016 though. That was the year that I was really bad. I was one of the toxic players on that game. Oh. Yeah, I was definitely one of the toxic players you would come across in Counter-Strike, which, you know, I'm not proud of. But yeah, at some point I was like, you know, it's not worth it. This game's not fun. It's not fun anymore. The way I'm going about this, the game's not fun anymore. I don't want to. Like, what's the point? What's the point if I'm just gonna get upset about it? Oh, whoops. I was on a roll for a bit there. You know, I feel like, depending on when this video comes out, this may or may not make sense yet. But over on the group channel that I have with Dynamite Denominator and Highlander, we have a video where I've played Getting Over It, and I fell down, you know, a few times. I don't know. I couldn't get mad at it because I don't know. It's not to say I can't get frustrated at games. I definitely got pretty heated during the marathons. I think I'm allowed a pass there, though, you know? I'm tired during those marathons. But, yeah. Of course, you know, to reiterate, I'm not saying I'm perfect and that I don't do these same things from time to time, but you know, I can't say, other than, you know, when I had my stint with Counter-Strike, that I've ever let like a video game consume my life like I've seen it consume other people, especially with social media. Like, I've seen people get so into social media, even some family members Like not, you know, not even, you know, my little cousins or anything, not the younger generation, like my uncles and aunties. They get super into it. I used to have Facebook, but I don't, because I didn't want to deal with the stuff going on with the family. It's like that became the main way that the family kind of interacted for, I don't know if it still is, but there was, you know, a few fights that broke out between people, and it was all over stupid stuff, which I know it happens regardless of social media with families, but it's the same sort of arguing that I see, you know, people talk about with Twitter and Reddit, where people will argue about stupid stuff. And it's like, I don't get it. You know, especially when people have too much free time and they spend most of their day on social media. I think there's an issue there. I don't know what I want. What is this actually? I don't know. Let's see. Actually, I'll get. Yeah, spend it on these. Oh, and then I can use tokens. Huh. Just did a bit of grinding, I guess.
Would you like to try? Let you borrow.
No. We'll return to the main area. But I suppose living in Australia, the Australian government's trying to put in a initiative, I don't know what you would call it, a policy, where social media is supposed to scan your face, or well, that's sort of the problem a lot of people have with it, is they haven't really specified how they're going about this. Sorry, I should actually explain what it is at first. The Australian government's trying to make it so only, was it over 13 or 16? I don't know, you have to be over a certain age to use social media. Which honestly, I don't think is a terrible idea. You know, because, you know, it's, well, in my personal view, it's on the parents to you know, look after what their kid is consuming, right? Yeah, you know, I just don't think, I think it's fine so long as the parents there to you know, monitor what their kid's doing. That's not, I think, an uncommon sentiment among most people. I think I've heard that quite a lot, but obviously that's not working. And, you know, hey, look, I don't want to put blame on people, because, you know, I'm not a parent. I'm sure it's hard. It seems hard, you know, raising a whole another human being, multiple if you've had multiple. You know, I do want to be a parent at one point, but that day's not today, so I can't speak for parents. But I do think that there is this kind of response to that argument, the whole, oh, like, you know, parents should be monitoring what their kids do online, is the whole, oh, well, you know, you know, with today's economy, right, you know, both parents are working, you expect parents to monitor what their kids doing online 24/7. And, you know, I might sound a little bit, you know, arrogant here, but yeah, kinda. It's, see, there's this whole thing, it's like, yes, the world is becoming more digital now, you know, it's not like when I was growing up, it's not like when, but it's not like, you know, when I was growing up, where there was just a stationary computer, you know, you couldn't move it. I mean, you could, but it would take a lot of work. You know, you had the beige PC towers, and it's like your computer time was the computer time. What's this again? Oh, I have full rings, that's what. But, you know, there's the stationary computer, and yes, it was probably easier for my parents to monitor what I did. Because it's like, I didn't have a tablet to take with me to places, and I didn't have a smartphone that I could, you know, look up everything on. Actually, I forgot what the Lightspeed dash button was. I should probably look what that is. You know, you don't have to give your kid a tablet. Is my point. It's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of hard to monitor what your kid's doing 24/7 when they've got a tablet, because they can just take that shit with them, you know, to school. They can do stuff at school, they can do stuff, you know, at a friend's house. You can't, it's kind of hard to monitor, but, you know, you don't have to get them a tablet. I get that it's easy, because you get this very useful entertainment tool that can keep your kid busy. But, you know, and again, I might sound a little arrogant for this. If you're not ready to deal with the annoyances that come with having a kid, then don't have a kid. If you can't deal with your kid when they're not sedated by a tablet, right? I just don't think you should be having a kid. So, you know, if any parents are watching this, I would urge you to think about how often you let your kid have access to that stuff. Because it's like, you know, my generation, the generation before that, and the generation before that was fine without tablets. Yes, and like, you know, the whole thing that gets like touchy with this sort of thing is that every generation goes through that whole like, oh well, and back in my day I didn't have this and I didn't have that. And, you know, in my case it's, oh well my sedation device was stationary instead of mobile. But, you know, my parents didn't have to give me a computer. And when they gave it to me, they gave me rules around it, you know? They put things in place so that, you know, I used it safely. My dad educated me about stuff with computers so that I wasn't, you know, getting into shit that I shouldn't be getting into. And I turned out fine. I don't think, you know, necessarily having a tablet is a bad thing. I think that's great. I think it's great that kids have this cool technology, you know? But, you know, because tablets are and smartphones are incredibly useful. You know, you can... It's you know, you used to have to get encyclopedias to figure, you know, find shit out. That was the original, like, you know, looking something up. You know, you find an encyclopedia at the library, or if you were like, had parents like mine, you know, you get the mail ordered. But, you know, it's not, I'm not saying you know, your kid can't have a tablet. It's just like, you're the parent. You tell them, hey, you know, this is tablet time. This isn't tablet time. You know, no tablets at the table. No, you know, when we're trying to have family time, no tablets, no screens, as a lot of people like to sort of use as a general term for like every smart device. But, you know, if you're a parent now, you should remember growing up without a tablet. You survived. Your kid will survive without their tablet. They'll be okay. You know, there's this whole thing, I think, and you know, again, I'm going to reiterate this because I feel like, you know, if the wrong person watches this video, I might get a nasty comment, but you know, I might sound arrogant for all the stuff I'm saying because again, not a parent talking. But hey, there's this idea that, okay, well, you know, if I don't get my kid a tablet, he's gonna get bullied. He's gonna get picked on by the other kids because he doesn't have a tablet. So I need to get him a smartphone because the other kids have a smartphone, and I want my kid to feel included. And I feel like that's like a great, you know, that's a great sentiment to have. You don't want your kid feeling left out, but I feel like stuff like smartphones and tablets are a band-aid solution to that sort of problem. I feel like you should be focusing more on teaching your kids that they don't have to fit in. They don't have to have the latest shit and have what their friends have. You know, because friends that are gonna dismiss, like, you know, your kid for not having a tablet and not having a smartphone aren't worth being friends with to begin with. And that part I can say from experience, because, you know, growing up, my family didn't have a lot. Our technology was like 10 years behind what was current. You know, we were using VHS quite a while after DVD came into the picture. But, you know, a lot of my friends growing up were pretty well off. You know, they got a lot of the modern stuff that I didn't. But, you know, and yes, there were some times that I felt left out. But ultimately, that shouldn't have been what mattered. And, you know, unfortunately to, you know, a few of those friends, it did matter. So, and you know what I learned years later is that those people weren't worth being friends with. So I feel like the downside to having, you know, tablets and smartphones accessible to kids is like, okay, the upside is that, you know, I feel like each generation gets more educated, right? Because you get more information. There's you can look up anything nowadays. And of course there's the whole deal with mis and disinformation, but that's a separate issue. So, you know, obviously you got the mis and disinformation against that, but I think the other downside is, like, they become an easy escape for not necessarily the kid, but for the parent. I feel like the parent, that's an easy escape. You know, because just hand my kid a device and I can have quiet for a little while. And again, I get it. It's like, you know, parenting's hard. You know, sometimes you just want some peace and quiet. But hey, you signed up for a lot of not peace and quiet when you decided to have a kid. So, but anyway, I think I'll leave that topic there. I think I've said what I think I've made my point. I feel like I'd just be hammering on the same points if I kept talking. But what did this guy do again? Make more power? Oh, that's right. Oh, these options are here now. I think last time I played, these two things weren't an option. That's nice. Use everything to raise. Increase my speed, please. Okay, well, I obviously didn't have that many to begin with. Thank you. But yeah. And hey, if anyone's watching this in the future, well, I suppose the younger generations are getting up there into their teens now. So hey, if you're someone that came across this, you're not a parent, but you have parents, and you're conscious that you have a thing with your tablet or whatever, or something that you're wanted to get rid of. I think, yeah, self-imposed limits are a great thing. You know, I won't give too many tips here, but about 2 weeks ago or so, 2 weeks? No, sorry, 2 years ago, I had done a no internet challenge where I disconnected my computer from the internet, I swapped to a flip phone, I just didn't have access to the internet for like a while. I allowed myself to have the internet briefly, about like 10 minutes a day, just to check in my email account, because I get my like statements through that. So it's like, okay, the one thing that I need, I'll keep that like available. And oh, my dog's barking. All right, I think they're done. Oh, no. Okay, they're further away now, so I'll keep talking. You know, self-imposed. Yeah. So during that month, it was like I felt the impact of it, but like, at least for me, going cold turkey like that like helped me. I realized how much I looked at my phone. Like, not in a, like, you know, I'm scrolling TikTok endlessly kind of way, but in a, how many notifications do I get each day? And how often do I pull up my phone to look at what that notification is? So after that month, like, I still feel the positive effects of that month now. Because now I have like all these do not disturb profiles where it's like I'll let in certain notifications from this app, but I won't for like everything else. And I'm looking at my phone way less. Because now I just have the things that I need. But yeah, I'd say just experiment. If you're someone, I mean, even if you're not a teenager, if you're just an adult that wants to cut down on something, I don't know, just put in some research and even make up your own methods or something, you know? Get creative. You don't have to like follow a specific guide. I feel like there's a lot of videos online like, this is how you do a dopamine detox, and you know, which a lot of dopamine detox is a bit of a interesting thing anyway, because I don't, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm pretty sure there's like quite a lot indicating that they don't really work anyway for like what they're meant to be doing. But anyway, but yeah, just finding, yeah, even just little limitations, you know? So instead of, yeah, you don't have to go cold turkey like I did, but finding something small to do could, you know, make a difference. Like, okay, for even just 10 minutes a day, I'm gonna put my phone in a different room, and I'm not gonna look at it for 10 minutes. Once you get used to it, do 20 minutes, you know? Don't gotta do it big and fancy like I did. And you know, if you fail, then just, I'd say accept the failure and try again. You know, failure's part of the process. Very cliche, but you know, failure is only when you don't get back up. Failure is when you say to yourself, "Oh, like, you know, no, I'm never gonna get out of this This, I don't know, social media addiction. I'm always going to be on Twitter. Like, I just can't do it. That's the real failure. But that's really cliche. You've probably heard that in a million different movies at this point. Anyway, I'm not a very original person. I feel like a lot of my takes are pretty cold takes. But anyway, I think we should end it here. I've rambled for quite a while this episode. I think twice the amount that we did for. Can you not lock onto that? Why are you in that stance? I don't want you to be in a. Okay, well. Anyway. Well, I hope you guys. Oh wait, I didn't say what the date was. Sorry, guys. I didn't say what the date was. The date is 27th of December, 2024. Sorry, I meant to say that at the start. Oh well. This has been another episode of, or the second episode. I say another like it's been going on forever, but this has been the second episode of Peaceful Video Game Locations, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. I don't know what location I'll pick for the third episode, but and again, this will probably come out pretty late, like the previous episode. But if you guys have any suggestions on locations, and if I happen to have that game, then maybe I'll go there. Yeah, so if you guys have any recommendations for where you want me to wander around while you guys like put me on in the background, then yeah, go for it. Anyway, I'll end the video here. All right, see you everybody.